Oh, yeah.
Oh, my gosh. We have Kill Tony superstar, instant legend. We got Ben Grelle on the show right now. Thank you so much, bro, for coming on.
I like that.
Great to have you.
Yeah. Thanks for having me.
Man, you got the Kill Tony hat on. You're looking good, man.
Yeah, I got it in the mail the other day. I'm not even sure who sent it.
That's a nice hat. Some nice embroidery on there. I noticed on the show you had a nice hat with your last name on it, branding yourself. Very nice, very smart.
Indeed.
Yeah, but they always pronounce my name wrong. It's Grelle, and they usually say Grelle or Grelle.
Yeah, so it's Grelle. It's got like a what nationality is that, or where's that come from?
Italian. My parents are from Italy. But yeah, it's Grelle, Grelle. It kind of would be like Grellee, Grelle.
Grelle.
Nice. I'm glad we can finally put the rumors to rest. It's Grelle. It's not Grelle. It's Grelle, everybody. And
get it right.
For years I was on the road, they pronounced it Grelle. They'd say, well, how do you say your last name? And I'd say Ben Grelle from Boston. 2 seconds, Ben Grelle from Boston. Ben Grelle from Boston.
So he's originally from Boston. He's been all over the place, though. He's been on the set of major movies. He's done armed robberies. He's hot-wired cars. He was on the biggest live podcast in the world. He's even gotten high with Richard Ramirez and Grizzly Man. I mean, this guy's had a crazy life. So glad we could have you right here on Shut My Mouth Wide Open podcast, bro. Thank you so much for coming on.
Yes, sir.
Thanks for having me. This is great.
Yeah, fantastic. We got a lot of questions for you. Mike, you got some questions, too?
I have a few, yes.
Cool.
Mine will probably come to mind as you ask yours.
All right. I'm going to start rattling them off here. Well, first things first, you had a really good set on your second appearance, which was the last Kill Tony that was aired. You got some big laughs from the crowd. How'd that make you feel?
Actually, it didn't go as well as I expected. You know, it's only 60 measly seconds, so it's like basically 3 jokes. But I think most of them went over Tony's head, or his hearing's bad or something, because I usually get laughs, or else I wouldn't have used those jokes, you know?
Yeah, I felt like there was a lot of miscommunication between you and Tony. He almost made it seem like you had like a bad set or it was badly timed, but you had it perfectly right on the 60-second mark. And then some people kind of interrupted you and stuff. And Tony was in a bad mood with you at first. I don't know why.
At first, but I don't know what was up his ass for that first, 2 minutes.
Yeah, I had to win him over with that story.
Yes, exactly. Like at one point, he literally was like, he told you what? He called you a dumbass, and even I got offended. I'm like, why is Tony talking to this man like that? Was it hard for you to keep your composure? I mean, it didn't seem like it was hard for you. You kept the vibes positive.
Yeah, I didn't want to. I mean, you know, he's a powerful guy in the comedy business, so I didn't want to, you know, attack him for breaking my balls.
Yeah.
Which is not easy for me to do. Like, what the fuck? Don't fuck yourself, you know?
Exactly right. I don't know what I would have done, because like he really kind of almost stepped over that line when he called you a dumbass. But you know, it's Tony. He likes to bust people's balls. It could all just be for show, for all I know. But yeah, you had a nice joke. I liked the car battery joke, the misdirection with the car battery and your wife. I enjoyed that one.
It was a great laugh, but it didn't. It was really flat.
Yeah,
and even the one lighting a match with a joint.
Yeah.
Sometimes I feel like the guests sit there. I don't know. I didn't really know those two guests this time, but
yeah,
they're sitting there and they make these facial expressions that try to pilot people's brains. They do the brain control thing where they're like, I don't get it. You guys get it? And then the audience is like, oh, I can't laugh at this.
Yeah, you were way funnier than the two guests, though, so you can definitely be happy about that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, no, I was pleased with the whole situation. You know, I was just glad to get picked again. Yeah. I've only been in Boston for 3 months.
Yeah.
And there's 200 comics standing out there on the street waiting to get called. And a lot of them, you know, I was talking to them and they're saying, I've been signing up for 2 and 3 years and they haven't got called.
It's kind of crazy.
Pick soon.
I think that possibly a theory for why Tony was mad is you got the luck of getting called again. He knew about that. He's like, oh, it's the same guy within 2 weeks. That makes me mad. So he was just nippy at first. Maybe it's nothing to take too personally. Yeah, he was definitely a little bitch.
It almost seemed like it was the moment when you said that you were on the Rocky 2 set and you beat the shit out of Sylvester Stallone and he believed you. That really got him off on the wrong foot there.
Yeah, he's just dumb. I couldn't believe that he believed me, you know?
Yeah.
And you had one joke about your wife. How's the wife doing?
she's great.
Nice. Good to hear that. Not getting hit in the head by too many car hoods.
No. Yeah, she's my big fan.
How long have you been married, bro? You're 73 years old. How long have you been married?
Well, we started going together in 1995, and we didn't get married till about 2017. But
All right.
we've been together over 20 years.
Wow.
Hey, congratulations. Love to see it. Love to see it. And you said you said you've been doing comedy for 14 years, and then you took a long break. And I was wondering, was there a reason for that long break?
Well, yeah, it started in 1989 at the Holy City Zoo in San Francisco. That's where I met Brian Holtzman.
Nice. He's one of my favorites.
Yeah, Brian's a great guy. I love Brian. And it was going good. I was on the road for a long time. I was just driving the country. I'd go to Boston and work, Boston and New England in the summer. And then right around 2010 in LA, they started doing all these bringer shows where you actually had to get a good spot, you had to bring your own audience. It's like you had to bring 5 audience members.
Yeah, I've heard a lot about those.
What's that?
I've heard a lot about those. A lot of comedians complain about those. Yeah.
Oh, that was, to me, it was like, fuck this. I'm just going to go try and get my art career going again. And I started painting, and I hadn't been, the last time I was on stage was 2010, and I bombed terribly.
Oh, no.
And it was in a coffee shop on Sunset. They didn't even have a stage. I was just standing on the floor, face to face. Actually, I wasn't even face to face. People were just sitting down, drinking coffee. And the sound system was a little Fender amp with a microphone.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
That sounds like a nightmare. I bet everyone was not paying attention, drinking coffee, reading the paper, who knows what.
Yeah. I think I just stopped in the middle of my set and just said, the hell with this. And that was it for another 14 years, just until around March of this year. I was living in Boston, and I knew I was coming here. I was going to go back to LA, but Holtzman was here in Austin. So I figured, well, let me check that out. And so I started going to open mics in Boston and Manchester, New Hampshire. And I went to 3 or 4 open mics just to get back into the groove. And then I came down here, and I didn't expect to get picked until I thought it would take me 6 months or so to get in the groove.
Yeah, but you're a full-blown legend after we getting picked like 2 times in 4 weeks, was it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, absolutely,
actually,
really. And your appearances are getting better and better, which I like, too. So who knows what's going to be in store for your 3rd set on Kill Tony. And,
I'm signing up tomorrow, and I'm prepared this time. I really didn't expect to get picked again so soon, but
I hope you get back up there many times, man, because you are great up on that stage.
Yeah.
Oh, look at the notes.
I got a shitload of things.
Hey, so you're not using your big joke book. Why?
Oh no, I saw Tony last week in the green room at Red Bands Club in Sunset.
That's right, because you did the secret show, right? You did the secret show?
Yeah.
Wow.
And, Holtzman was on that night, and I was with Holtzman, so we went there, and I actually had my book with me. I don't know, I just had it somewhere around here, and it's full. And Tony was saying, "Hey, I need another book." And he's going, "You got to fill it up first." I said, "It's full." I showed it to him, and he's like, "Holy shit!" It's like, "Get this guy another book."
See,
but this is the armed robbery bit that I had printed out. I even forgot I had this.
Oh my God!
What I did on stage, I forgot a lot of it.
That belongs in a Kill Tony museum, that piece of paper, man. Like, seriously, that was like the best story ever.
Yeah, that was amazing.
Yeah, this thing is about 20 years old, this piece of paper. I did it in 1994.
My God, that's 20 years old, that piece of paper? Damn.
Yeah.
So what year did that story happen in again? Because you said you were like 19 years old when that happened, right?
1970.
Wow, dude.
What 19, a life. I found out, I had no intention of doing anything. I've never robbed a place in my life. And
I'm glad they got it out of you, because that story needed to be told. And I got a couple other questions about your interesting life. I was wondering, who's more fun to get high with, Richie Ramirez or Grizzly Man?
Well, with Tim, it's just weed. I smoke. He used to do mushrooms a lot and things like that, but I just smoked pot with him. I would see him at this bar in Santa Monica, and I really didn't know him out of that environment, or maybe down at the pier or on the promenade in Santa Monica.
Wow.
But I smoked weed with him. But with Ramirez. We both had the same dope dealer, and he was in a Bristol hotel in the Tenderloin in San Francisco. The Tenderloin is like Skid Row. It's all
like
chunky.
Damn.
Kensington of the West Coast.
The what?
It's like the Kensington of the West Coast.
Yeah, well, in Boston, they call it the combat zone.
Dang.
Yeah, I drove a cab in Boston, actually. And I used to just park it in the combat zone all night.
Man, so, and you really never really suspected Richard Ramirez of doing anything? Was there ever anything in the back of your mind saying that this guy might be diabolical or some kind of killer, or just nothing?
He was a devil worshiper. Buster, our dope, would tell me that when he'd leave the room. He'd go, that guy's got a pentagram in his room. It's under the carpet. And I'm like, holy shit.
Oh, my God.
I guess it's because he was always shooting crystal meth, too. And his pupils were so big that they blocked his iris out. So he couldn't see any his eyes. It was just big pupil. So it looked like he had big black eyes like a shark.
Oh, man.
And he stunk hell and his teeth were rotten. He was just a weird dude.
Wow.
But I had that he was killing people. Like later that night, he'd go out and kill a few people. I'd see him the next day.
Wow, man. I mean, that makes a lot of sense to me because I got pulled up his last words before he died, and apparently he died in 2013. He said, "I am beyond good and evil. I will be avenged. Lucifer dwells in us all." Those were his last words.
Yeah. He was a sick mother.
That's some heavy shit, dude.
And it also said that he got a lot of visitors while he was in jail, and even like some fandom. Like he had a bunch of fans. Some women wanted to date him and stuff like that. And I was just wondering, did you ever get to visit him in jail, or was the relationship not quite there?
Oh no, yeah, I was not his friend. You know, even now they have to kill Tony. I drive Uber during the day, and just last week I picked up 4 girls from Florida. 3 of them got in the back seat, and the 4th one was getting in the front seat. And she looked at me, and she went, "You're the guy that's friends with Richard Ramirez."
No.
Oh my God.
I said, I wasn't his friend. I just knew the guy. I said, I've never even been in a fight.
Oh my
whole
God.
life.
So she got in the back seat real quick, huh?
What's that?
So she got into the back seat real quick when she saw you.
Yeah, got in the back seat. She was sitting on the other 3 girls' laps. After about a mile, they said, "Pull over, get the hell out of here. Get in the front seat. He's not going to hurt you, And by the time I dropped him off, they wanted to take selfies. They wanted my autograph. And they "Oh, yeah, not a bad guy."
Wow. So this new fame from Kill Tony, people are already recognizing you to that level where they go, "Oh, my God, that's the guy. That's the guy." Does that happen a lot?
Well, he's probably getting written about in like murder subreddits now.
The club. And half hour after I left the mothership on the street, people were coming up to me that were in the audience.
Yeah.
And they go, "I saw you like a half hour ago, can we get a picture?" I'm going, holy shit.
Nice, man.
Yeah. So I would walk around with Holtzman, and people were always coming up to him and say, "Oh my God, Ryan Holtzman, can we get a selfie?" Because they closed the street off down 6th Street is a trip in Austin. They actually blocked the streets off, and it's like a big carnival. People are all over the place. It's nuts. There are people out there with boa constrictors around their neck. It's really a trippy scene.
Yeah, I want to get down there and check it out because I've been there before, but not in many years. And we have another co-host who couldn't make it tonight, and he used to live in Austin, Texas. So that's too bad he couldn't have been here to kind of confirm that for you.
Yeah,
oh yeah, and it's 100 degrees at 10 o'clock at night or 1:30 in the morning. It's really hot. So people are walking around with bikinis and all kinds of stuff.
Nice.
Yeah, you can have your tits out in Austin, Texas, right?
Yeah, you can. Yeah, I love it. You can say faggot. You can say retarded. You get some shit.
It's like the 90s, man. Yeah, that's what we grew up on. We definitely grew up on that kind of stuff.
Freedom of speech is real. It should be.
Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. You're good. Sorry.
No, in LA, it was very politically correct. If you said anything, people would, you'd hear like, "Ooh, he said faggot," he said this, he said that. It's crazy.
Yeah, it really is. And got a couple other questions for you. Let me see here. Did you ever finish your art school? Because you said in that crazy story that you were on your way to art school. You took a little detour to go on a heist at a meatpacking facility. Did you ever go back to art school and finish?
Well, I went from 71 and 72, and then I moved back to Boston for the bicentennial in '76, and then I went and one more year to the Art Institute, but I never graduated. I never got my BFA.
Okay, gotcha. Well, it looks like you graduated because we actually have some of your art that we're going to pull up. Mike, can you pull those up?
Yep, got the first one right here.
Yeah, Mike's going to pull up some of this art for you. Tell us a little bit about this piece right here.
That's the painting with the blood in it.
That's what I heard, man. I found that very fascinating. So your own blood is in this painting?
Yeah. I did that in 1977 in Boston.
Oh, is it?
At the time, my friends were huge pot dealers, and I was a coke dealer. So everybody I knew had guns. So I didn't even have a gun, but I got one just to keep it on my table when people came over to do deals, so they'd see the gun, not come back and rob me, you know.
Damn.
But if you that painting, those are supposed to be like machine gun bullets. Those white lines coming from my heart.
Oh, cool.
I was really tripping on it, and I actually did. Somebody did break into my house and steal a few ounces of blow.
Damn.
And some weed and stuff. Yeah, I used to get 60-pound bales of pot.
Damn, 60 pounds, 60 P's.
From the cartel.
Okay.
So
yeah, I put it in a Greyhound bus and sent it to Santa Barbara.
Sheesh, this guy was big into it. And so that one dark spot in the middle of that guy's chest, is that where your own blood is right there?
Well, yeah, that's my heart. And the blood's all over it.
Okay.
I had a syringe full of blood, and I just squirted on the thing, and I actually squirted in the paint and I put it on there. Because when I was in art school and we took art history, they would dissect the pigments from Van Gogh and Picasso and Renoir, and they would tell you how they made the paints, because they would actually use gel and earth and certain colors from the ground, from nature.
Nice. And has anyone bought this painting, or is it still available?
The painting?
Yeah, has anyone bought it, or is it still out there available?
I can't part with these paintings.
Okay, so these are not for sale. Cool.
Wanted them. Actually, I have my paintings. I don't know if you can see them or not.
I see it. Oh, that's so cool.
Oh, wow. It's right there in person. Look at that.
That's
incredible. It's holding up very nice. That's a nice piece of art right there.
Yeah, that painting is good. I like it.
You can get thousands for that.
Oh,
okay, I'm trying. And that's another one there. I don't know if you guys are familiar with this guy. What's his name? I forget his name. Oh, Phil Schneider.
I don't think so.
He had a shootout with aliens at an underground base in Dulce, New Mexico.
Oh, I've heard of that guy, actually. His hand got all messed up.
His what?
His hand got messed up, I believe, right? Didn't he get shot in the hand or something?
Yeah, the aliens, they blasted him with some kind of ray.
Yeah.
And, he got disemboweled. He was doing talks. He'd open his shirt and he had a scar from his neck all the way down to his navel. And they said he committed suicide, but he got murdered.
Wow. I have actually heard of him. That's very fascinating. So did you know that guy or?
No, I didn't know him, but I watched his videos. But, they took him off the internet. I can't find him anymore. He's still on there, but the videos of him talking are not there. He was a government geologist, and he used to build dams.
Yeah, Mike, have you ever heard of this?
No.
Yeah, Mike's never heard of this, but yeah, this guy was like a scientist for the government and was working underground in New Mexico, and he said that there was a huge battle between the military and some aliens that they found, and the aliens won, obviously, and they were shooting him with ray guns, and his hand was like disintegrated looking. It had like 3 fingers left. It was crazy.
Well, that probably has something to do with the fucking M caves, with the fucking vibrations and all the people who go caving out near Area 51.
Yeah.
I was just reading about this last week, but I digress.
Yeah, he actually put his hand up to block the ray and they shot his fingers off, and then it also disemboweled him. He said one of the Green Berets threw him in the basket and sent him back up.
Wow.
That's how he said.
I love stuff like that. I love stuff like that. You seem like you're into a bunch of conspiracies, and I like that about you.
So did the Green Berets kill and finish the battle and cover it up?
Who knows?
I mean, they didn't come up to the surface.
Yeah.
He came to the surface. But, I actually saw a UFO when I was 14 years old in Methuen, Massachusetts, which is the town I grew up in, which is about a 20-minute ride north of Boston. And I was with my friend and my girlfriend at the time. And I told my dad about it. I said, yeah, we saw a UFO. He goes, you smoking that shit again? I said, yeah, I am, but that has nothing to do with it.
But I did still see it. Man, that's
The
crazy.
next day it was in the local paper. It said hundreds of area residents report UFO sighting.
Wow.
So, yeah, my dad's the one who told me, he goes, check this out. He goes, you really did say UFOs. I told you I did, you know.
You're smoking that shit.
Just add that to the list of great stuff that you've seen and done in your life. Like, it goes on and on. And something else that I was fascinated about your life, you said that when you were 19 that you hotwired a bunch of cars and would steal your friends' cars so that they could get insurance money. That is a crazy scheme right there. How did that work out?
They were older than me, and they all liked my sister. My sister's 4 years older than me. So I say, hey, take me. You know, I want to go in the car with them. I say, hey, take me for a ride with you guys. And I'll tell my sister you like her. And they go, okay, yeah, come on in. You better tell her I like her. And so they would let me go with them. And then they would buy these really nice cars. At the time, it was like 69 Roadrunner, GTOs, you know, that era, and big muscle cars. But then winter would come, and they were like iron workers and construction workers, and they would get laid off for the winter, and they couldn't make the payments. So they would get me and my other friends to steal their cars, and we'd burn them, and they would get insurance money and pay the car off.
That was the golden days of that. You couldn't get away with that as easily now.
So, like, you've done a lot of this kind of stuff. Have you ever gotten caught by the law? Has the law ever won with you? Or are you just on top?
Got busted a bunch of times. I got busted 6 times in San Francisco for possession. But I never got busted for any of that stuff.
None of the serious stuff. No car thieves or anything like that you got busted for?
Yeah, I never got caught for that.
Statute of limitations is far gone.
Yeah, and you're safe now. We're definitely not trying to get you in trouble. I think statute of limitations, like Mike said, is definitely in effect right now.
It was like 50 years ago.
And I was wondering, how do you hotwire a car? Is that something that you can tell us over the internet? Like, is it a red wire, blue wire? Is it easy? Is it tough?
It's simple. It's simple. At that time, when you turned the key, it made a connection of these 2 wires.
Yeah, like
and so if you didn't, you could actually get a bubble gum, not bubble gum, but like kind of like juicy fruit. You know, there'd be 5 sticks to 1 pack.
Yeah.
And there was that silver paper in there would work.
Oh, okay.
So you just touched the wires together and the car would start up.
Wow. So it's just that simple. 2 wires that just need to touch, need a bridge.
Yeah.
Right,
waiting to get touched the whole time while the battery's sitting there while they're at dinner.
Yeah.
All you got to do is bring those 2 out and touch them.
And what would you do? Would you just like break a window and then go in there and hotwire it, or they gave you the keys, or you just wouldn't use it for the ignition?
Nobody locked their doors back then. It just
People trusted the golden ages.
Hitchhiking to Boston, and I was 20 miles away. And while I was hitchhiking, I would just try people's cars in the driveway. And most of the time, the doors were open. So I just started up, I drive it to Boston, and I wouldn't wreck it or anything. I just park it and go do what I was doing.
Yeah.
Dude, that's so awesome. What a life you've lived. Like, and do you still hang out with Alan or Robbie, the 2 guys who joined you on your heist to the meatpacking facility?
Yeah, well, Alan lives in Boston, and my sister saw that thing, and she's going, hey, don't get these guys in trouble. And so I don't say their last.
Yeah, they're gonna have some old dusty guy in a wheelchair, detective from back in the day. I was gonna solve that case.
Yeah, seriously.
That detective would have to be real old by now.
But honestly, you should think about putting this into script form and making a movie out of it, because you said you've been on some big movie sets. I think the next movie you should be on is your own, where you tell this story about your first armed robbery, because it's too funny. Yeah. It's too funny.
Yeah, I actually started writing a few pages about the armed robbery, the interior, scene from a helicopter. But I'm not a movie writer. I write comedy. That's about it.
We got to get it to Judd Apatow.
Or something like that.
Yeah, we could probably get it picked up by Judd Apatow or maybe a Seth Rogen, because I could see like that type of comedy being written with all these characters. I mean, your friends were such knuckleheads. It seemed like you told your one friend, go in there, see if there's women and children in there, see if there's a bunch of people, and if there is, come out and cross your arms. And he didn't do that. So you go in there.
No, that's exactly what I didn't want. There was a lady in there with a baby carriage. Yeah. Thinking of my family and my nieces, they'd be freaked out.
Like
And
that's straight out of a comedy movie. You go in there and there is a lady with a baby carriage and he's in there eating a fudge pop.
No signal. He didn't give no signal.
And there were like 5 or 6 other guys in there, buying from restaurants. You would go in there and you could buy sides of beef. It was all cash and carry. Back then, there were no credit cards. Everything was cash.
Yeah. Hey, that's good for a heist.
Used to work there, and he got fired for doing weird shit with the meat, I think. I'm not sure.
You're friends, man. You're friends.
That's amazing.
And then another funny moment right after that is you start, sticking everybody up, and then your friend puts his hands up with the fudge pop. He just pretends like he doesn't know you at all. That's straight out of a comedy movie.
I painted such a good picture in my brain.
I didn't want to go near the butchers. I didn't want them to grab the gun. And, I'm a skinny runt. I'm not a fighter. These guys are big butchers. And Al was supposed to grab the money while I held him at gunpoint,
That's right. You ended up doing all 3 jobs that you divvied up between your 3 friends. You did the heist, you grabbed the money, and then you had to be the getaway driver at the end, too. So literally everybody crapped out on you. You had to take charge. They must have known that you were a badass of the friend group, and that's why they wanted you to come along, right?
Yeah, well, I wasn't really a badass. I was just crazy. I was a nutty kid, and they knew it.
They knew they needed you that night because they definitely did. They could not have done it without you. And then another funny moment is they were about to cancel the heist, and then you go, "I've already missed my art class. We're doing this shit. We're robbing these motherfuckers." And
yeah, they chickened out. They said, "No, we're not going to do it. It's not right. It's a good day." What the fuck? You're not going to do it? I already missed my class. We're doing this. Give me that fucking gun. Give me the ski mask. And Tony was confused about the ski mask.
Oh my God. I wrote that down. That was so stupid. Like, who doesn't understand what he's talking about? Like, people still wear that. People still wear that to this day. It's very, very popular in fashion. If you see guys out at the club and they got a rolled up beanie, there's a ski mask there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I see it all the time. So I thought that was pretty crazy how Tony was so confused by that.
Yeah, I was too, because when I walked across the street, it looked like a regular beanie.
Yep.
Cars were by. They saw me walking around the ski mask in the middle of the day, and it wasn't snowing at that time. It would look, But when I went in, there was a little entryway between the door and when you actually go in, and I stopped in there, and that's when I pulled the ski mask on, and I took the gun out because it was in my waistband.
And you had
I took the clip out of the gun. Besides, I took the clip out and threw it on the floor because I was afraid those butchers would try to take it away from me, and I didn't want to, shoot anybody. That's the last thing I wanted to do.
Yeah, they could have got that gun from you. You said they were pretty big guys, and you had a good first line too. You said, "This is a robbery. Let's not make this a fucking murder." Brilliant, brilliant.
I think what I was going to say, but Alan cracked me up. He was in the back seat as I was driving to the butcher place, and he was rehearsing, and he has a lateral lisp, and he was like, "Reach, stick him up." Stick him up.
Saying the worst things.
Stick 'em up, like an old 1920s mobster. Yeah.
Stick him up, Alan. Then he started saying reach, but he's going reach.
Yeah, really,
he was a
really might have been the best story ever told on that show. You got a big standing ovation. Did that just feel incredible when the whole audience erupted and stood up for you?
Yeah. How do you know I got a standing ovation? Because I couldn't see it on the video.
Oh, yeah? No, and they went crazy. I can't remember a better reception from a Kill Tony bucket pool ever.
From the YouTube angle, you could see them all stand up.
Yeah, it was great. I think I thanked them, like, "Hey, thank you. I appreciate that."
Yeah, you were a class act all the way. I mean, you even took all of Tony's lumps, and you kept smiling and keeping it positive. And the whole crowd was on your side. There even was a moment when Tony said, "I think everybody was ready for you to be done," and the whole crowd just starts to groan, and then he calls the crowd gay. You remember that part?
Yeah, he couldn't take it.
Yeah.
They were on your side big time, man. You had that crowd in the palm of your hand. Something about your charisma, something about your personality.
Yeah, but it did kind of throw me off, the fact that it always throws me off when they don't laugh when I'm expecting them to laugh. It always throws me back. But no shit, if they didn't like that, they're really not going to like this next one,
And something else funny from your friends during that story is you're running down the street with the money, and the butchers are chasing you or pointing at you, and your friend Alan starts running after you saying, "I'll get him. And that really was pretty brilliant. That's a funny move from Alan there.
And then, I could have got caught because I jumped in the back. I was going to jump in the back seat because I thought Robert was supposed to be behind the wheel. I opened the door and he's crouched down on the floor in the back. Did you do it? Did you do it? Of course I did. What the hell do you think I was doing? So then I had to go around and get behind the wheel, and I threw the door open for Alan, but he still wasn't there. Then I started taking off, and he was hanging on the door, and he had to catch up to me and jump in.
I mean, it really reminds me of the Three Stooges, but you would definitely be Mo. You would definitely be Mo in that case. You got to like hit these knuckleheads and get them in line. Like, it's so much fun just to think about that. And that actually reminds me of a personal story I have. I'll keep it quick. I had a friend who did the same thing. So when I was younger, in the summertime, we went to a Dairy Queen. You know what Dairy Queen is, right? Just ice cream shop. So we went to a Dairy Queen in the summertime. Everyone's eating outside. And me and my friends had an idea. We bombarded the whole Dairy Queen with water balloons. And it was crazy. We started hitting everybody with water balloons. It was nuts. People were getting so pissed. Families, fathers were getting angry. And then we finally start to run because they called the cops, and the cops showed up like that. And we had gotten out of there already, but we had one friend who was left, and he starts running from the cops, and the cops are starting to gain on him. So he just starts going, "Come on, he's over here, and it worked. It got him out of that. Isn't that funny?
That's great.
He's like, I saw the guy. I was chasing after him. He went up the road. He took a left, and just go up that way, and you'll find him. And that's my quick little story that it reminded me of from my own life.
Thinking on that. Like Alan, that was quick thinking. Like Tony even said it. That was like next level Jedi shit.
Exactly. Alan seemed like a cool guy, and the other guy's name was Robbie, right?
Yeah, Robert. Yeah, it was his dad's gun, and I actually got caught that night by my dad. Like, it was in the newspaper. It said, meat packing plant robbed. And it had a description, and I had a Navy pea coat on. The watch cap, the beanie, whatever the hell you call it. Blue jeans and fried boots. I don't know if you know what fried boots are, but everybody wore fried boots. I think they made them in Massachusetts, but they were like cowboy boots with round toes.
Wow.
And all my friends wore the same thing, but my dad called me that day. I actually, when the cops were chasing us, I happened to end up near my cousin's apartment, and he was also a junkie. Mm-hmm. So I said, shit, this is great. Let's get rid of this car, because I saw the car. I pulled into his parking lot. There were 100 cars there. I run into my cousin's apartment. I said, Bob, I need your keys. I just robbed a meatpacking plant down the street. And he's like, what? What the fuck are you nuts? What are you talking? I said, I'll tell you later. I said, here, keep this gun and ski mask here, because I don't want to get stopped if they see. I don't even know if they're watching me right now. But if I get stopped, I don't want to have that shit in the car. So I took my cousin's car and I took off. I dropped those guys off and drove into Boston. And later on that day, about 4:30, my dad called me and he said, meet me at Uncle Al's house tonight. We have to help him move a refrigerator. But what happened was my cousin Bobby freaked out, and he said, I thought you were losing your mind. He said, I thought you went crazy. And he ratted on me.
Oh, no.
He told us he did. And then his uncle called my father, and my father's like, holy shit. So my dad knew if he said to me, hey, I got to talk to you about what you did today. He wouldn't have seen me for like another month. But so he said, we got to go help Uncle move a refrigerator. And I'm like, okay, yeah, I'll be there. I walk into the house, my aunt's house, my uncle's house, like at 7 at night. My auntie Nellie's like sitting there crying.
Oh my God.
So how did they figure it out? Through a description on a newspaper? Is that what he said?
Oh no.
Cousin Bobby told him. He said, Benjamin robbed fucking meatpacking plant. He's losing his mind, And they're like, I walk in, my uncle Al's like, what the fuck is wrong with you? He said, my nephew's in jail right now for the same thing, except he didn't even use a gun. He used a broken bottle.
Wow.
And I thought, what the fuck? What are you, nuts?
Damn.
What if you killed somebody? I said, I didn't even have any bullets in the gun.
Yeah. Safety first. You're not violent, like you said.
Then my father goes, you didn't have any bullets in the gun? That's even more fucking crazy. How would you defend yourself? What if they pulled out a gun from the counter? And I'm like, are you pissed off? You were giving me advice. What the fuck,
Yeah, no one should be giving you advice on this type of stuff because, you don't get caught. You're pretty good with it. And something else I thought was interesting is you got away from the cops without snow tires in the snow. Like, are you a really good getaway driver or something? Do you have driving skills?
Yeah, I've been driving cars since I was like 12 years old. My dad used to let me drive all the time. We had a really big, long driveway. It was probably about 60 yards long. And all my friends learned how to drive in my driveway. You know, we had a little 3-speed on the shift 52 Chevy Woody that my dad just kept in the yard because we had all these apple trees, and he used it more like a pickup truck.
Nice.
And
So were you like speeding around corners and peeling out, or was it kind of just more go slow and act normal?
When the cops were chasing us?
Yeah.
No, yeah, I was driving fast and spinning around corners and screeching and all. Because they were right behind me. I mean, I lived in America, I saw the bushes talking to them, and I assumed they would say, "Yeah, that car right there, that's the guys who robbed us." And I saw the lights go on, and they pulled a U-ing. So now they're chasing us. That's why I dumped the car as soon as I could, got my cousin's car, and that was it.
Very, very awesome. Is there anything from behind the scenes in Kill Tony that you can tell us about that we might want to know about that night or any of the nights? Anything crazy happened backstage or anything before the show?
Before you go, they come and get you at the at this bar. It's a bar across the street from the club, and there's so many comedians that the bar is full to capacity. Then it spills out onto the sidewalk. And there's like 250 guys and girls out there waiting to be called. So it's crazy. And then some kid comes down and he has a megaphone sometimes, or else you go in to the bar and the DJ will announce your name. And again, they were pronouncing my name wrong. They were saying Benjamin Grelle. And I didn't even think it was me until somebody said, "Let me see that piece of paper." And he looked at it, he goes, "That's Grelle. He's here." He's like, "Grelle, it's you." By then, the kid was going back in to get another name.
Oh.
He thought I wasn't. So I started running after him, and I switched up like Forrest Gump. There were like 200 comedians standing on the corner, and they're all going, "Run, run, run." And the kid heard them saying run, and he turned around and he saw me running. And he motioned like, "Is it you?" I said, "Yeah, I think so." Let me see the face. "Yeah, it's me." So I was out of breath. I said, "Yeah, I can't even." I said, "I can't talk. I just did a 50-yard sprint. I'm 73 years old, you know. I run track, fortunately, in cross country and all that." But he said, "Don't worry. There's somebody going to go on before you and do 10 minutes who happened to be, what's his name, Cam, the rock guy." That guy cracks me up. So I got there, and I'm trying to catch my breath. And the producers talk to you. I think they're producers behind us, the curtain there. And they say, "Okay, you have a minute." And I said, "Yeah, I did stand up for 14 years. I can do a minute standing on my head." I said, "It's a story I'm concerned about." I said, I don't want to be known as the junkie comedian or the heroin comedian, which is what I'm known as now. But I said, so I'd really rather not talk about that." And they go, "Well, what do you mean?" I said, "Well, I had a 32-year heroin habit." He said, "You're clean now?" "Yeah." I said, "Yeah, I've been clean for 17 years. He goes, "You got to talk about that." He said, you have to talk about that. Tony and Joe are out there. And I didn't know Joe was out there till he said that. He says, "But they love that stuff when you pick yourself up out of the gutter stuff and make a comeback." He says, "You got to promise us you'll talk about that."
Yeah, honestly, it's a lot funnier coming from a guy who's clean now for 17 years. If you were still a junkie, it wouldn't be funny at all. So that's definitely a factor.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't be doing stand. I started going to open mics in 1977 at the Comedy Store. But I was using every single day. When you're a junkie, you got to get high, or else you're going to get violently ill by 2 p.m. You're going to be puking and shitting all over yourself. Not to mention the physical cramps and all that. Mm-hmm. So I'd be loaded, but not loaded where I couldn't function. And I would go to the Comedy Store on Mondays and Sundays. 3 p.m, you have to sign up. Then you go back at 6 o'clock at night, and they pull your names out of a box, and they tell you, "Okay, Ben, you're on from 8 to 8:03. The next guy's on from 8:03 to 8:06. They only give you 3 minutes."
Yeah.
So I did that literally for 10 years, from 77, for 12 years actually, from 77 to 89. And I would go to 2 or 3 open mics every week. And I'd go and I'd watch the other comedians, and 2 or 3 guys before me, I would talk myself out of it. I'd say, "Nah, man, I'm too high. If somebody hacked me, I won't be able to respond." I walk up and I would pass my name off. And I did that literally 10 freaking years. I did it at the Improv, the Comedy Store. The Laugh Factory wasn't even around at that point.
And at that time, was Brian Holtzman already a regular at that time?
No, Holtzman, I hadn't met Holtzman till 89. And this was 77, 78.
So you were into it before he was. That's wild. So you've been doing it for a long time.
Yeah, well, I'm 10 years older than Brian.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, Brian was like 17 then. You know, I was 27 when in 1970.
Wow.
78. But the first night I went to the Comedy Store was actually in Hollywood with my mother and my sister and my son. And my son was probably about 8 years old. And I was living in Santa Barbara, and I would go to LA a lot. But so my mother was visiting with my sister, and my son was with me anyway. And we went to Hollywood to see the, handprints in the cement and all that, all that new movie stuff. So it was like 11 o'clock at night, and we got a hotel. And I didn't know the hotels, but I ended up getting a hotel on Sunset Strip, which was a hooker hotel. We go in the hotel, and my mother's like, "Oh, look at this! It has a vibrating bed. It had a machine to put it on." Right.
Yeah, I've never actually seen one of those. I've always heard about them.
And there was a mirror on the ceiling.
Yep. Perfect.
There's a mirror on the ceiling, Dad. I go, I know. So you comb your hair in the morning, but I'm getting out of bed.
Fancy.
Yeah, that was a trip. And then all the channels were porno channels. I was downstairs getting the luggage, and I could hear my mother and sister screaming up in the room. And I'm thinking, holy shit, someone's attacking my family. I run up there, and my mother and sister are trying to hide the TV because they turned the TV on. It was a porno scene on. My kids trying to see the TV between them. I think they couldn't figure out how to shut it off.
That's so funny. Were you paying by the hour for that hotel? Damn, that sounds like one of those.
No, but you could if you wanted to. That's the kind of hotel it was. But I was clueless about all that. But that was the night I said, I finally got them all settled. Okay, look, this place, I loved Johnny Carson when I was a teenager, when I was in my 20s. I don't know if you guys remember who Johnny Carson was.
Oh, yeah, he's great. Great.
Letterman, Jimmy Kimmel, and all this. Jimmy, what's his name there?
Yeah, he's better than both Jimmys. Yeah, he's a legend.
That guy was the king of late night. I mean, Letterman idolized him. But so I knew all these comedians, Freddie Prinze and J.J. Walker, George Carlin, they all were on Johnny Carson. And he would say, from the Comedy Store in L.A. And I said, the Comedy Store's right down the street. We drove by it a few times that afternoon. I said, I'm going to go down there and see if I can go in and check it out. So I left them at the hotel. I go to the Comedy Store. It's like 12:30, 1 o'clock in the morning. And they said, look, it's sold out. There's nowhere to sit. But if you want to go in, you can get in for free. But you got to go stand back there with the comedians. And I didn't even think of it. I go, yeah, whatever. I just want to go in. So I go there. I stand there. And there's Jay Leno, who was already on Carson times. And he's from Andover. And I grew up in Bethune, which is right next to Andover. Our high school used to play their high school. So I'm like, holy shit, there's Jay Leno. I was impressed. I'm like, hey, Jay, from Boston and all shit. But then I didn't realize at the time, but David Letterman was there, Paul Reiser, J.J. Walker, I recognized because he was already on TV.
Yeah.
And I was sitting there amongst these guys, and they all had their little notepads and stuff, and they're going, how's this sound? How's that sound? And I'm going, shit, so that's all you got to do. Like jokes sound like that. I could do this, I got the bug. And I started, then I actually moved to LA from Santa Barbara, and I would go. But I was a junkie. Plus, I was a coke dealer, and I was selling pot. I was actually going to the Comedy Store, and I used to sell blow to a lot of the comedians at the time, rather than focusing on comedy, which is what I should have been doing. I thought I was going to, be the next Scarface.
Did you ever have any famous clients?
Yeah, I did.
Like Chris Farley or something? You ever sell to Chris Farley?
I don't want to get in trouble.
Yeah. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about that.
His name, but I used to sell these guys. Their names rhymes with the Beagles.
What? Okay, all right. I think I've heard of them.
One of them bought a sailboat from my friend's dad in Santa Barbara, and my friend called me up. He used to buy quarter ounces of coke for me. And he called up. He's like, hey, Grelle, I need a quarter ounce and make it one big rock. This guy, he just bought a boat from my dad, and he's a rock star. I go, geez, who? What's his name? And he tells me the name, but he had it wrong. It was kind of like the guy's name, but I was saying, I never heard of the guy,
Huh,
Then he said, he just joined that band. the band. And then I went, holy shit, are you kidding me? Him? He says, yeah. I said, man, I'll be right down. He goes, wait a minute. He says, I told him you're a sailor because it's a big fucking 46-foot sailboat. And this guy just wants to steer and smoke weed and do lines. He doesn't want to pull sails and all that. He said, so you got to act like, you said, you're an actor, right? I said, yeah. Well, he said, well, act like you don't know the guy. Because the other day he had his friend Bill there, and Bill was asking him all these questions about guitars and songs he wrote. And the guy, the rock guy, did it. He said, get this guy out of here. I don't want to talk about music when I'm on the boat. And this is my playtime. So don't you know anybody like you, dumbass, that don't even know who I am? Because my friend didn't know who he was, you know? And I knew who he was. He said, but you got to act like you don't know him, or else he's going to tell me to get rid of you. He said, so come down, bring a quarter ounce of coke. He says, and just listen to what I tell you and do what I say. Because I've never been on a sailboat, you know? So I go down there and I had cowboy boots on. I walk down the deck and the guy whose boat it is comes up and he's like, you're not going to come on my teak deck with those cowboy boots, I am. And I look at my friend, Terry, and I go, I don't know, am I? And he goes, no. He said he forgot his boat shoes at home or something. I didn't even know what Sperry topsiders were. That's all I wear now is Sperry topsiders.
Wow, so you really have to wear those on boats, huh? I didn't know that.
Yeah, we got the bridges on the bottom.
Okay.
Shoes, I've been wearing them ever since then. That was 1977. And so the guy that owns the boat, he goes down below and he comes up with an old pair of Sperry topsiders and he throws them out on the dock. And he said, here, put those on. So I wore those and we went sailing. We went out to the Channel Islands of Santa Barbara. And he actually let me keep the shoes. I should have kept them and bronzed them. I probably could get a lot of money for them by now. I went to give him the shoes back. I go, no, you can keep those. You know, so he gave me a pair of shoes. And I got to know the guy sailing. And while he made his solo albums and stuff, we would be on the boat, you know, doing lines and all that.
Wow.
And so the song would come on. And he was high on my blow when he wrote this song.
Dude, that's amazing. You've done so much, man. You've done so much. You've seen so much. You've met so many people. Why do you think it always happens to you? Do you think right place, right time? You think it's your personality?
I don't know, but my friends would say shit like that. They go, you're the luckiest fucking bastard I know. Even my brother used to get pissed off. Goes, what the fuck? Because you always land on your feet. You know, what's with that? I go, I don't know, you know.
Yeah, it really reminds me of like a Forrest Gump character. Like, I mean, you were at the Comedy Store for its big boom with all those famous people. You've had a couple clients that you just told us about with the sailboat and everything. And now you're at the Comedy Mothership in Austin as that's starting to boom. Like, you're always in the right place at the right time. It's pretty incredible.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, well, I owe what's happening now to Holtzman, man. I tell him all the time. I said, man, you're like my guardian angel. I swear to God, you know.
Yeah, pull up those pictures with him and Holtzman.
Got him right here.
And then we don't want to take up too much of your time. Mike, did you have any more questions, too, for him?
No, I mean, I am so satisfied. I was going to ask questions, and you told a crazy story, and you answered all of what I would have ever asked.
But, yeah, check out this picture of you and Holtzman, man. Like, I think he's probably one of the most underrated comedians ever. Like, truly.
Okay. I thought he was funny since day one. Even when he was doing open mics, I was like, oh, my God, this guy's cracking me up. And he was the same person, and you know, and he's the opposite in real life. He's really a sweet, gentle person. He's
you can tell.
Like,
I hear he goes to church every Sunday, but he's so abrasive on stage, and I love it, man. He's getting in fights with the crowd, and he's doing just the opposite of what you'd expect always, which is what I like in a comic.
Yeah, I go into the mothership a lot, and I just watch him come up in the balcony. And I'm the only one up there, you know. It's a whole. But and I watch to see who's walking out and when they walk out. And then I tell him, he said, yeah, hey, I saw people walking out again in the middle. And I said, yeah, Brian, the guy walked out when you said you're going to rape some chick in the gym. You know?
Yeah.
And I said, some people are too thin-skinned for your shit, you know, fuck them, you know. And he's like, yeah, I guess, you know.
Like the whole, that's the whole point with him. And some people, it goes right over their head or they just want to be offended so bad. But yeah, I love it, man. Like Holtzman is the GOAT.
Well, it's probably some guy that likes to like mess with chickens who got offended. It's like, no, oh no, I don't want to think about this right now. I do that to chickens for real. Oh, he's making a joke and it bothers me because I'm a chicken fucker. Ah,
that could be it.
Hey, that's funny that you bring that up because I get a bit of work of a guy I know who actually We caught him fucking a chicken.
Damn.
Oh no!
Right place, right time, man.
Yes, that's a great bit every time.
Our neighborhood.
That's kind of like in the Rob Zombie movie. You ain't planning on fucking these chickens now, are you?
I've probably seen that
It's
one.
stupid, but it's funny whenever you talk about fucking a chicken. That's funny stuff.
Apparently, the guy I knew wasn't the only one, but yeah, I was trying to work on a bit about it. Like, he's been writing Dear John letters to Colonel Sanders.
Nah. Yeah. So how is the set going? How long do you have right now if you were to go up on stage for your maximum time?
You know, if I don't, I do better when I go off my set. I'll have a set list. And then if I just start talking to the audience and ad-libbing, it's better than what I have prepared. But I hadn't been on stage literally from 2010 until about 4 months ago. So I couldn't I couldn't even do 30 minutes now.
Yeah. Are they being really nice to you at the mothership? Are they letting you come up? Are you like kind of like a respected person of importance there, or not quite yet?
They are the sweetest crew. It's all because of Holtzman. So the night I got here, Holtzman brought me to all the clubs. Mothership, he introduced me to all the security guys. The doorman, this is my friend Ben. I've known him since 1989, you know. Then he brought me to the Creek and the Cave. He introduced me to Rebecca, the owner. He brought me to all the clubs, and he introduced me to everybody. And they remember, because I would walk in there, you know, I didn't want to have to explain like, hey, I'm a comedian. I don't have to pay $40 to get in. And they're like, oh, hey, you're Holtzman's friend. Yeah, hey, come on in. Come on in.
Nice. Did Holtzman come out to your secret show set?
No.
How did that go?
No.
How did the secret show set go, and how long did they give you?
I think they gave me 10 minutes.
Nice.
And it went well. Both times they went well. You know, I forget on YouTube about the comments. I forgot all about that people can comment until my nephew called me up. He goes, oh, the comments are great. He goes, everybody loved you. I'm like, what comments? And he goes, the comments. We the fucking God. Then like, holy shit.
You're a legend.
So, yeah.
You're a Kill Tony legend. You really are.
Yeah. Well, tell Tony, we got to get that to Tony's head. Because everyone on those comments, everyone's like, why didn't you get what do you call it? A golden ticket,
a golden ticket, make you a regular. That would have been cool. You could come up anytime you want. How did Red Band compare to Tony? Was Red Band really nice to you for the secret show? Did you hang out with him a lot or communicate with him a lot?
I didn't hang out with him a lot, but I get a good vibe from him. He's a mellow guy.
Me too.
He's really nice. Tony's a nice guy too.
Yeah.
I've been around him a few times. I was actually in Mitzi's. Did I already tell you this? I don't remember. And I have another Kill Tony hat that I got. Hold on, I get it.
This guy's pretty awesome, huh?
He's
truly
deal.
Forrest Gump. He's like, okay,
See, this hat, I had this hat on, and I was in Mitzi's with Holtzman, and Tony happened to be sitting at the bar. So I went, hey, hi, Tony. I went over, shook his hand, and he's going, where'd you get that fucking hat? That's an unauthorized hat. Where'd you get that? It's all fucking bent out of shape. I said, I don't know. I got it online somewhere.
He is so uptight sometimes. That's so funny. Yeah, you made your own Kill Tony hat, and he noticed and took offense. That's great. I didn't get any cut from that merch.
What's that?
He didn't get any cut from that merch, and that got him, right? He needs a piece of that money if you're going to have Kill Tony merch.
And Red Band was there, and he said, no, they're really, and he explained to me, he goes, no, the good ones have big letters and they're embroidery. This is just a stamp, and he was describing it to me.
Nice.
And then I this hat. So but I wear this driving Uber, and people go and they go, oh, did you know the Kill Tony show? And I'm like, yeah, I got on it twice, and I got it on my phone, So people are in my back seat, and I put it on, and they're like, holy shit, that's you, the driver's on.
Nice, man. And we don't have too much more time, but I was just curious, one more question. What are some of your early comedic influences? Like, who are some of your favorite stand-ups, both modern day and back in the day?
Richard Pryor is my favorite. I actually met him 3 or 4 times at the Comedy Store.
Of course you did. Yeah.
In the 70s, I met him the first time. I don't know if there was a guy, he's died now, but his name was Monty Hoffman. And he came in like second or something in the San Francisco comedy competition in the early 80s. And then I met him again in LA at the Comedy Store. I was in there one night, and Richard was there. Holy shit, Richard, I'd love to fucking meet him. And he goes, oh, come on, I'll introduce you. And he did. He said, "Hey, Richard, this is my friend Ben." Ben, he said, "Richard," and Richard shook my hand. And I sat down there, and Monty sat down. Then Monty got up and said, "I'll be right back." And he left me there with Richard Pryor. So I'm sitting there with Richard Pryor. I'm like in shock. And then Dice Clay walks in.
Dice
He
Clay.
walks right up to Richard. It was like everybody walked in and they had to pay their respects, you know. And Richard's like, "Oh yeah, well, this is Ben," you know. And so all of a sudden they started associating me with Richard. And I would see them later on, or weeks later, they go, "Oh yeah, you're Richard's friend."
Damn.
I'm like, yeah, that's right. Yeah, I'm Richard's friend.
Damn. So you've met everybody from Richard Pryor to Richard Ramirez. Like, that's incredible right there. What a range.
Yeah. And George Carlin was one of my favorites too. I like George Carlin.
How about any modern guys, any new guys who are doing it right now?
I love Ari Mitty. You know Ari?
Yeah, he's my favorite regular right now. He's my favorite regular right now.
He's a nice guy too. I see him, you know, in the green room and stuff, and he's a nice guy. But I love his comedy is great.
He really seems like he might be the funniest guy on the planet right now. Like, I love his stuff as well.
Yeah, he is. He's very funny. I liked Richard Jenny too. He passed away.
Wow, so that means so you were definitely a Boston guy, because Joe Rogan always says that the true Boston guys know about Richard Jenny and how much he used to kill. So that's all right. He used to kill harder than anybody else.
Yeah, I used to see him at the Comedy Store.
Nice.
Yeah, and Holtzman is one of my favorite comedians. He has been forever, you know.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to book Holtzman and you over here in Maryland one night. We'll see what the price is like. We'll see if we can get some business worked out, because I would love to get Holtzman over here.
Oh yeah. He never went on. He never went anywhere for like 25 years except the Comedy Store. He didn't even go down the street to the Improv or the Laugh Factory. It was Comedy Store, and he lived in walking distance to the Comedy Store. He could walk there. His doorbell said "R. Ricardo," like Ricky Ricardo from the Lucy Show.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's funny.
And you weren't you also on or you tried to sign up for the latest Kill Tony in Madison Square Garden? Did I see that?
No.
Okay, I must have the wrong guy. My bad. But Mike, you got any more questions for Ben Grelle?
No,
Grelle?
I'm very happy with this interview.
Yeah, man, we really appreciate you coming on. If I had to pick one person from the past 3 months on Kill Tony, it definitely would have been you. Like, epic stuff.
Cool.
And we're going to let you go now, and just appreciate your time, and we'll be in contact in the future. Maybe we can do it again sometime.
Yeah, anytime. Just let me know. Thanks,
all right.
guys. I appreciate it.
That is Ben Grelle. Have a good night, bro.
See you, buddy.
Take it easy. Bye.